Hey guys, Mandy here. I wanted to show you the books I read for July, so here's my wrap up. I'm also gonna be doing a wrap up for my medieval thon too, which is amongst this. So we'll get going. I did have a lot of 4 and 5 star reads this month, nothing below 4. So this was a good reading month for me as far as enjoying a lot of these books. This first one is Denise by John Benton. It's one of the first books I finished reading for Medieval Dawn, for a book that has yellowed over time. So I rated this a 4 out of 5 star. That was a pretty good book there. And then I read The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. This one I also played for the Medieval Dawn, for a book with something pointy on the cover. I rated this a 5 out of 5. This does hold a little bit more detail in it than the movie. I ended up rewatching the movie, even though I've seen it before, but I wanted to rewatch it to kind of see where the differences were, even though I already knew, but it was like a refresher course. And there was stuff that they could added to the movie to give you a little bit more, I guess, understanding. But it was good overall. And then I finished From House Calls to Husband by Christine Flynn. This is rated a 4 out of 5 star. I read this for the summer romance-a-thon that's being held right now too. And I did end up enjoying that book thoroughly. If you couldn't tell, I rated it a 4 out of 5. I finished this arc that I started last year, or started this year, or whenever. Anonymous Girl by Greer Hendricks and Sarah Pekkanen. I rated this a 4 out of 5 star. For you, Ryan, I know you had asked me once I finished reading it to let you know how it was. It's a fairly decent book. I enjoyed it. I mean, it had a couple weird moments, but what mystery thriller books don't. And you can go ahead and give this a try if you want. And then I read Maggie's Dead. Maggie's Dad, not Dead. By Diana Palmer. I rated this a 5 out of 5. I thoroughly enjoyed this one. And she's a new to me author, so it was kind of nice to change of pace. I really like this book. Then I read Beauty and the Beast by Vivian Savage. I also read this one for the Medieval Dawn. For a book with the dragon on the cover. I rated this a 5 out of 5. I wish there was a movie annotation to this version of Beauty and the Beast. I really liked it. I couldn't put it down. Yeah. I definitely recommend that to anybody. And then Cat from Outer Space by Ted Key. I rated this a 5 out of 5. I think this, compared to the movie, is almost about the same. But there's a couple details that was left out between the movie and the book. And to me, I think I like the movie better than the book. But I still recommend this book to anybody who likes sci-fi. So I read 7 books for the month of July for 1,840 pages. And for the medieval dawn, since I wrote it all down, I read 3 books for it, so I became a knight for that. Because depending on how many books you read, you become something different, like a peasant or a squire, knight, so on and so forth. I became a knight. So that's how that turned out. Otherwise, that's it for this wrap up, and y'all take care and catch you later on.